Doesn't even cross their mind. Don't even get a brush on their cortex. Have no concept. Now you do. You know why I do this. And if you guys want to make everybody else suffer by asking me a question, go ahead. Somebody said they had a question.
Yeah,
go ahead.
What happened to Alcan?
Oh, my father's company?
Yeah.
He sold it to the guy that made the fiberglass bodies, and then I don't know what happened to it from there. But it was, what happened, like any garage tinkerer, he retired and he wanted to have this for him because all the other stuff out there was crap. So he built one. All of a sudden he gets 10 orders. We want one too. And I'm going, cool, Dad, right on. But he didn't really have that in him. He didn't really want to do that. You know, it just kind of came out that way. Yeah.
Well, Ernie, first and foremost, I understand and agree with the vast majority, if not all of your points. But I've got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about having a sort of top-down model where the top is commanding people and telling them what to do and whatnot.
I advocated that?
No, you're saying that's what you're advocating against. But then you're equating that with the Libertarian Party, the National Party organization. What exactly is it that they're actually telling people to do?
When they use the courts to come after us right here, to use government force to take the party away from the people that had and created it, that was bad. Okay? When they advocate for the use of taxpayer funds to be able to sustain and enhance their salaries and so on, that was bad. When they took and used whatever they did in the Oregon and the Denver conventions, all that kind of stuff, bad. So I'm like, I got a whole bunch of examples. That's not enough.
Mr. Harris, they don't do anything to tell the Libertarian Tennessee what to do. I'll give you one specific example that did happen in 2008 in Denver in the Bylaws Committee. In the Libertarian Party of Tennessee, we select our own delegates to national. We voted on them last year in Nashville. 2008 in Denver, there was a bylaw proposal to require you to be a sustaining member, which makes you a dues-paying member to the national party in order to be an eligible delegate to national. That is top-down. That is not bottom-up. You do not have to give one penny of money to this party to be a part of this party in Tennessee. And it will stay that way, and we will send our own delegates that we pick according to our rules to go and represent the state of Tennessee.
I'm the one who used to say it will stay that way now.
Not gonna lie, Trevor Fish.
Simply that the National Party seems to be developing databases and lists and huge sums of money and doing things with that money and kind of creating an expectation that they're going to give direction to these volunteers and then not actually doing that, so the volunteers just kind of sit on their hands.
I've been through this from when I was young. Back here in the 90s, all the promises of what they were going to do. Unified membership program, if you send more money, we got this thing, we're going to go Occam's Razor, or what the heck, not Occam's Razor, what do they call that, Razor? Yeah, whatever. That's something else, but that applies in a lot of ways too. But what happens is, all this time, it's been promise, 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 if only we can get, if you would, kind of, they're liars. They're structured that way. They're not going to ever, all of a sudden decide, unless you insist on it, that they're not in charge anymore. They're not going to ever, say, this is what I was advocating. Freedom of speech is set up the way I would advocate. I'm going, how come we don't have all this talent, like you saw in the Ron Paul thing, of all this art that was done, all the videos, all of the graphics, all of the animation, all of this stuff, that I would have been advocating forever that this be an accumulated resource for all the activists, in the libertarian movement. They don't do that. Why? There's a lot of people out there doing it. One time they would be, I remember Harry Brown one time said, oh, well, I'll let you guys use my campaign videos. You can put them on locally. Can we use the intro as a libertarian candidate? No, can't do that. Why? Who paid for it? So this concept of being able to really support the activists is not there. It's not under their control. They won't even, LP News sucks, okay? And all they had to do is just, hey, we want to be able to put all this resource in so we can go to one place.
Can we order
part of the future, okay? Let me tell you what's going to happen. There is going to be an effort, hopefully by a lot of people because of all this stuff and the things that happened to Angela and Lee and so on, that 2010 we go in and do some mass whipping. 2012 there are some, presidential candidate hopefuls I think John Buttrick would be great. I think Glenn Jacobs would be great. Glenn Jacobs, he sent me an email this morning. He wanted to say hey to everybody. The wrestler, Kane, very intelligent guy. And I tell you what, they're going to see him too, because damn. So it's yeah, wouldn't that be cool for Tennessee? He comes back, that'd be really cool. And I love Glenn.
Right up the street, he's just like 15 miles from here.
I love Glenn. Glenn is quality people, man. That is, right on.
Oh, he's on the road making money.
Yeah, he's in the United Kingdom right now, beating somebody's butt. So in 2010, there were a lot of opportunities for us to take it back. In 2012, there's a lot of things that can happen. It can change overnight, like this. The RP thing showed it. But what did you see that they did? I've been seeing this since '96. When we were doing all this convention stuff and who they give the database to and how, they're corrupt sons of bitches. They don't care what the law says or the bylaws are or any of this stuff. They'll give and take and do, and so they have absolutely no resistance. So they're like the government, man. They have no problem with violating whatever to do what they want. They'll go after it. And if they think it's in their best interest to kind of back off on the Lee thing, like Aaron's doing, damn, man, we kind of stepped in that, because they don't understand. People will understand justice. So it's so 10 and 12. I have no idea. It's up to the people what they're going to do. But I tell you this, if I ever finally get to the point, and I believe that it would be advantageous, which it's getting very close to targeting the National Libertarian Party as an enemy of freedom, they are so screwed. Are you kidding me? Are you ready? Are you really? Do you really want to play this game? Because they usually just pretty much leave me alone. Because man, they just know, man, don't even get in my crosshairs. So if it comes to that, I'll be a real butthead. Anything else? Yeah.
You gonna run for president?
Hell no. Maybe when I'm old and gray, but I'd much rather look for somebody else. If nobody ever comes, I just know better. It's not. I have more influence doing this kind of stuff, having fun. Yes, sir.
I have a question. How come those guys that are way up high there, how can they be so philosophically inconsistent with the rest of the party?
Because philosophy is not their goal. Their goal, I got to tell you this. Damn it, there's so many stories. I got to tell you this, you'll understand. There's a guy named Lindsey Williams. He conspiracy, kind of the guy that was a pastor in Alaska on the pipeline, met all the billionaire, Bilderberg, whatever. And he knows, what's happening. He's been pretty good in his predictions. What he did is we had dinner one time, and I asked him, I was very interested in the kind of people these guys are. The elitists, they don't get crazy drinking. They're not dopers. They don't have hookers everywhere. They're just kind of regular people. And he goes through talking about their mindset, and they know better, and this kind of stuff. As he gets done with that, all of a sudden it dawned on me who these people are. I go, wow, I know these people. The more details you ask, well, what about this? And what do they think about that? And what's their mentality on? I started seeing people I've known in activism that were the conservative right-wing pro-lifers or pro-choicers or this kind of... Only difference between these billionaires that are running the planet and these activists that are down here, the only difference was $10 billion. Exactly the same kinds of people, it's just one had more money. Because they are of the mindset that they know what's better for you. You're too stupid to be free. They know what's better. Now, if we only did it our way, if we could, how many times have you heard, if we could get every libertarian to give just $5, if we can get every libertarian to give just 5 minutes to do what I want to do, then we could, fill in the blank. They never even crosses their mind that what if we had every libertarian just do whatever the hell they wanted and we just helped them? Never even crosses their mind. So you want to know how is it they can be inconsistent? Because freedom is not their prime directive. Their prime directive is to be in charge.